guys, slept like a rock. If you missed yesterday's vlog, I'm here in Palm Springs. I always want to call it Isle of Palms. I don't know why. Just rolled out of bed. I'm losing my voice because last night, I went to that event, reception. I don't know why I want to keep calling it meet and greet. And there was loud music, so I was talking to a lot of people, and it's dry here, so that really put my voice through the ringer, so bear with me. I'm gonna be a little froggy. This morning they have a breakfast, and they also have another like activity that we're doing, and they specifically said to wear comfortable clothes. So I'm just wearing a tank top and shorts, and I'm gonna put on my running sneakers. High fashion, per usual here. And these are my Under Armour shorts, not championed by C9. If you know, you know. I misspoke that one time. Anyways, I have my travel sunscreen here, the Garnier Ombre Solaire, which I'm not even gonna wash my face this morning because we're in the desert on a horse with no name. And in the desert, you only wash your face once a day. That's the name of the game. One thing about me, so let me position you guys down. I wore flip-flops yesterday, so my foot is cramping up. Does that ever happen to you? It's the worst feeling when like the arch of your foot cramps up. I feel like I need some water. On the plane yesterday, does this happen to anybody else? I had to untie my shoes and like, I didn't take them off all the way. Planes are kind of grody. I had socks on, so whatever. But I did untie them, and my feet swell on airplanes, and they start to hurt if I'm wearing like tennis shoes that are tied really tight. Does that happen to anybody else? I assume it does, because I always see people taking their shoes off on the airplane. But it's like really uncomfortable. I'm proud of myself. I got 8 hours of sleep last night. As I was saying in yesterday's vlog, oh, my battery's gonna die. As I was saying in yesterday's vlog, it was really important that I get good sleep last night because the night before I basically didn't sleep in order to prepare to come to travel. I had to wake up so early, and I had to go to bed late. All right, finished applying sunscreen. I got my outfit of the day. So stylish. My special badge, my bracelet. I just need to bring that bandana. But let's head down, get some coffee. Hopefully they have coffee. And some water. Those are the two things I need most urgently. Ah, fresh air. It's beautiful here. So this hotel, I don't know if I told you this yesterday, it like doesn't believe in signs. So you just kind of go through these like little walkways, and it's kind of confusing. It's easy to get lost. I have a chessboard. I'm just gonna walk across. I think I'm going the right way. I have no idea. Table tennis. All right, so now we're going to some sort of team activity.
My ears, you guys are amazing. Well, here we go. I got a question for you, but first, you guys gotta have a secret word for me. Do you guys know the secret word?
Yeah, it's
please.
Zucchini.
Ooh, that's close. I'll take it. That's fine. Zucchini's good. Love it fried. Love it in oil. It's sexy. Heck yeah, guys. We're gonna get you this question right now. Here we go. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Scott Frenzel, and a question that I would ask a creator mentor is, how do you balance everything with putting out videos so often and having to create content and think of ideas? How do you balance your regular life with your social media life? Because sometimes it feels like the two just blend so much that you have to take time for yourself too.
Alrighty, my party people, come up with that answer from my man Scott, and we're gonna record it and get it going whenever you're ready.
Just start over there.
Well, hey guys, it's evening time. I had a great time at the sessions. I couldn't really film in any of them. Some of them were like strictly prohibited, any outside filming. You know, top secret info. And it was a lot of fun. First, we had like an intro session. We had a little scavenger hunt where we broke up into teams, which was really fun. And there was a lunch. And then we had breakout sessions about, you know, different things on behind the scenes of how to make better content for you guys. And after that, we had another joint session in a big ballroom. And now we have about an hour, and then they're gonna have a pool party. Yeah, the bandana was for the group. The group activity required the bandana because they separated us into team based on bandana color. So I was on the blue team, and that was a lot of fun. It just had us like run around this maze of a property with no signs, looking for different clues, and one of them entailed somebody from the team volunteering to dive into the pool and get out a ring fully clothed. And this one guy didn't, you know, he went in head first, dove into the pool, fully clothed, wearing jeans. I'm glad I was not him because I can only imagine the amount of chafing when it comes to walking around in wet clothing. Anyways, so there was that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I don't know what the pool party is going to entail. I think I'm just going to put the same outfit back on that I had on last night and go with that, but I've got my badge here. I was going to go to the gym, but it's full, so I'm going to pass on that. And yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Okay, you guys, I broke away from the party a bit. I'm gonna go back to my room because the party's winding down, but they have this late night hour over here. Looks like they lit a fire. Can't see me. Well, hey guys, I'm back from the pool party. It was a great time. They had like a little taco bar. They had a, what's that stuff called that's popular? Blanking on poke bar where you could make your own poke, and they had a tofu option as well as a seafood option, so you could choose. So I got, of course, tofu. And they had a quinoa. Did I say this already? They had a quinoa bar, which I've never seen a quinoa bar, but they had black quinoa and they had toasted it. It tasted really good. I don't think I've ever had black quinoa. I'm not the biggest quinoa fan, but it tasted pretty good. And they had like black beans and edamame. So that was good. And they also came out with churros later on, which was fun. And they had drinks and stuff. They also have, for people like myself who don't drink alcohol, tonight and last night they had a mocktail, which was like club soda and like muddled fruits and things. But tonight it was like, it had jalapeno and I don't know what else, but it had a nice kick to it. So I rather enjoyed that because when you're in the desert, you need to hydrate up. Speaking of which, so glad I brought my CeraVe healing ointment with me because my lips are getting really dry with all the talking that I've been doing. And speaking of water, this is the little water bottle that they gave us. Isn't it cute? This is Dr. Dray. That way you don't keep using plastic cups. Cut down on waste, you know. It's cute, huh? So, been filling that up, and I don't know if you saw this, but it's got the YouTube play button on it. They're clever. They think of everything. The company is Porter. A little YouTube merch there. So yeah, I had a really good time. Today was jam-packed with lots of really helpful stuff for me as far as the YouTube stuff. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to come. I said this last night in last night's vlog, but honestly, I have you guys to thank for my, you know, for being presented with this opportunity to come here, stay at this nice, like super expensive hotel, and everything, because yes, I, you know, make the content and everything, but you guys watching it, that's what, you know, affords me these opportunities that come my way, is because people see that, you know, the content that I'm putting out, you guys are watching. So I really appreciate you guys for choosing to spend your time here, because you know, I have gotten a lot of opportunities because of you all watching my videos, basically. And, you know, it really means a lot to me. I can't say this enough, how grateful I am for this channel. And, you know, you guys have changed my life in so many ways. You have no idea. And so I'm very grateful to you guys. Big thank you for supporting my content, always watching, commenting. It really helps me out a lot. And, you know, my hope is that the content is helpful to you guys and you enjoy it. Those of you who watch my vlogs, you know, I hope it is entertaining for you with a little skincare thrown in there as well. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun, this trip. So tomorrow morning we have a breakfast, but we have a breakfast tomorrow, and then I think there's another session, but they're coming at 11 to take me to the airport. I feel surreal here. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like I am in some kind of a dreamland. This hotel is kind of, I know it's very old, but it kind of has this almost spooky, haunted-ish vibe to it. The hotel is like all decorated, styled by that Jonathan Adler guy. So there's some interesting artwork around here, like that giant banana. And there's just like bananas randomly placed all over the place here. And then it's just kind of got a, I don't know, interesting feel to it. I've never stayed in a hotel like this before. I've stayed in like historic hotels before. Like there are a few in Colorado. You probably heard of the Stanley Hotel, where The Shining was based off of. I've stayed there. And it is kind of creepy. But I've also stayed, there's another hotel, I'm blanking on what it's called. It's like in a mountain town in Colorado. That is really old and likewise kind of has that spooky tooth vibe to it. Anyways, yeah, I had a great time. Let me know in the comments if you have ever been to Palm Springs, because it seems kind of cool here. Although when I was flying in, I was taken aback. Like I don't know much about Palm Springs. I have heard it's like a resort destination. But when we were flying in, I was taken aback by not only the number of golf courses, but the number of swimming pools. And I thought, isn't this like in a desert? Like, how did they get all that, like, water to keep up with all of that? Because, I don't know, it seems like the state is prone to droughts and whatnot. But I guess where there's a will, there's a way, huh? I just thought it was interesting flying in here. But let me know in the comments if you've ever been here. Because it's interesting, you know, this YouTube event, like, I'm vlogging here. But obviously, when I edit the videos, by the time they go up, it's past, you know, I'm already home, right? Anytime I travel, as a side note, I do it that way. Just because I don't want to, like, be advertising that I'm not at home when I'm not home, you know? For safety reasons, I do that. But they explicitly told us, before coming here, they said, you're free to get content, you're free to, you know, film stuff, photograph it, but do not post that you are at this, that you are your location. Don't even post that you are in California, for safety reasons for everybody here. And when we got here, we had to go through like a security check and everything. They like, just like when you go through airport check, basically when we got here, they dropped us off in front of the hotel, and there was somebody to check that we had our vaccine up to date and that we had a negative COVID test, which we had to take the morning of coming here. And then we had to go through the security. And I guess in the past, this event, they've had some, you know, problems, we'll say, with people with not so good intentions for potential creators, or maybe just, you know, people who are a little bit too invested showing up. So yeah, I mean, super secure. And so because of that, I've kind of felt like, well, I mean, they've had the schedule packed, but you kind of feel like you're in here in this little compound and there's no in or out. So all that to say, I don't I don't feel as though I've gotten any sense of Palm Springs, because when we came in, when they brought us from the airport to here in the shuttle had these blackout blinds closed, so we couldn't see out. Sounds like I've been abducted. They did that, for obvious reasons. This blazing sun, it would heat up too much. And you guys know me, I'm all about the blackout curtains shading me from those UVA rays. Anyway, so, but all that to say, coming in from the airport, I didn't see any, I don't have a sense of what it's like here. I'm sure it's beautiful, but like in terms of what kind of businesses and things they have, I'm not so sure. But flying in, I definitely noticed a lot of tennis courts, a lot of pools, and a lot of golf courses. In fact, we did this, we did a scavenger hunt today in our groups. Our team did not win. I was telling you about this earlier. We had to have, they gave us these bandanas to signify your team. I was on the blue team. But it was a mixture between going around and doing certain activities, and as you did the activities, someone in your team had to take little video clips of it and upload it into this little app thing that was keeping track of the points. But some of it was actual trivia where we had to guess as a team the answer, submit it, and see if we were right or wrong. And one of the questions was, true or false, Palm Springs has more pools per capita than anywhere else. And I felt like while I saw a lot of pools coming in here, I was like, how can that be true? Because there are places in Florida where pretty much everybody has a pool. Like, I don't see how this could beat that. But I don't know. I don't know anything about Palm Springs, so I could be wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. And everybody on my team was saying yes, and I don't know if we got that one right or not. I feel like I didn't get any closure with the trivia questions, because, the scavenger hunt parts of it, like the stunts and things that we had to do, like go around and throw a ping pong ball into a cup or whatever, like, okay, cool, it was fun, team building, I get it. But I'm like invested in the trivia, and I felt like I didn't get any closure with the trivia. Like some of the answers I never really felt like I got. For example, there was a question about what movie is the rug in this hotel inspired by, and everybody on my team said The Shining, but I don't know if that was right or not, because I don't know why I felt like that was wrong. But I could be wrong. I don't know. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I got any closure. Another one of the trivia questions was, what goes up and down but never moves? And I first said, your mood. And they thought that was a good response. And then I also said, the temperature goes up and down but never moves. And then someone else said, what did they say? Oh, the sun. The sun rises and sets, but really it's not. We're just moving around on planet Earth. So I feel like I don't get any closure. It's like taking a standardized test where they put all of this hype about, you gotta do certain, you got a standardized test coming up. Does anybody else find it incredibly annoying with, well, I don't take them anymore, but with standardized tests, like, you find out how you did, but you never get any closure about questions that you weren't so sure about your answers. I mean, you can go and look them up, but sometimes you're still not sure, like, so what's the right, and you want to know. But if it's a standardized test, you just like never, it's just out there, done. It's so frustrating, because I've taken many standardized tests in my life, like a lot. If to become a physician, it's just a series of standardized tests after standardized test after standardized test. And I remember always feeling, I always felt like that. Like there were certain questions on them. I was like, yeah, okay, great. I know how I did, but I want to know now. Was I right? Was I wrong on that? Because these questions, at least in medicine, inevitably they would come up again on another test down the road in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, I always found that frustrating. Which, speaking of standardized tests, I've got to tell you guys, I think that the more standardized, like, I'm not a fan of testing kids and doing those statewide standardized tests at all. But I will say this, I do think there is some
value in taking them and getting accustomed to taking standardized tests, because as I went along my trajectory in life, I got better and better and better and better. Not that I was a whiz kid at it, but I got so much better over the years at taking these standardized tests, because it really is, you can, like, I got to a point, I'm rusty for sure. I got to a point with standardized test taking where you could give me any standardized test, subject matter, it didn't matter if I knew it or not. I knew how to read those questions, how to read standardized test questions in a way where I could probably pass any test, at least pass, if not do decent, just because it's a game, you know, with standardized tests, reading. And it's, okay, it's going to be harder for people whose native language is not English, because there's just certain things, or, you know, depending on how long you know, your familiarity with the language, there's certain things where if you were English as a second language, those standardized tests, you know, sometimes for sure it's stacked against you just from a language perspective, I would imagine, because part of how I got better at it was just like reading the, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it's something that you start to get a sense of just by reading the words. It's weird. Comment below on if you are in, you know, education or whatever, what your take is on the standardized tests. Like, I believe you can train somebody to pass standardized tests. It may take a lot of time and practice, but I do believe that you can train people, and that they're not a marker per se of intelligence. It's just a skill set, and I believe that people can get there. Whether or not it's beneficial to get there, but that is what, you know, is utilized, or was. I don't know, they're kind of shying, maybe they're shying more away from standardized tests. But yeah, I do think that that's the problem, I think, with the way standardized testing is done for schools as like a metric for how well the teachers are doing and everything. I think it's totally wrong. I really do. I think school should be focused on educating the students, learning, and then social development. You know, playing with your classmates, participating in sport, to have team building, those kinds of life skills. I don't think it's beneficial for kids to have all this pressure to pass a standardized test. But all that to say, I do think having a class where all they do is practice taking standardized tests, I think it could be beneficial in the long run. I guess maybe for people who want to go into a certain field, but like, why is a fifth grader supposed to know that? That's something I feel like in the path to becoming whatever it is that you become, I feel as though it's unreasonable to have kids be expected to think so far into the future about how their academic performance might impact their future career prospects. Because I feel like, especially young teenagers, like about to graduate high school, I really feel like they're definitely still children, and your brain doesn't fully develop until you're like, what, 20? I mean, 18 is like this weird arbitrary number for adulthood. But I feel like kids have a lot of pressure on them from parents and things to go down certain academic routes, and they end up thinking that that's what they have to do in a sense, and they do it maybe out of a sense to please someone, like their parents or whatever, but they really haven't developed to know that that's something that they even want to do. Yeah, because I remember feeling like I wanted to go into medicine, and I had no external pressure to do that whatsoever. I remember feeling that way when I was in high school, because I started taking, you know, that's when we had like biology and stuff, and I found that I was pretty good at that and liked it, but wanted to apply it. And I've always been somebody who I've always liked writing. I always thought I was going to be a writer when I was younger. I love reading, writing. And I like the arts, but I didn't necessarily want to be like a art, performer or anything like that, be in the theater or an actor or anything like that. I knew that that was a difficult road and that I did not have the skill set to make it that way. Same thing with ballet. Like I enjoyed ballet. I loved it. And in my heart, I really wanted to be a professional dancer, but in my brain, I did not. And I'm glad I listened to my brain, not my heart. I mean, because you just have to accept some realities. Like, I would not have made much of a career in that regard. Anyways, so it wasn't until I was in high school, I took chemistry, biology, and physics, and I was surprised at how much I liked those classes because I had it in my head I was not good at the STEM kind of stuff. We didn't call it STEM back then. We called it like physical, I don't know what we called it. STEM was not, I mean, maybe it was a word in certain circles, but I'd never heard of STEM until I was much older. And I believed in my head that those things were not for me, that I was not going to be good at them because of standardized testing. Because I always did very poorly on standardized tests that were given in my elementary school, middle school-ish years. I mean, they tested you all the way. I always did poorly, mediocre to poor, in math. And I always did, well in the language arts kinds of things. So in my head, I was letting those tests dictate my entire, future as a child. It wasn't until high school that I said, screw those tests. I'm good at this. I like it. And I'm doing well at it. Just because I didn't do well on those tests and this back then, I don't need to let that dictate my life. And that's when I decided to go into medicine. So I'm telling you this because I didn't have external pressures. And I think that has really saved me in my life. Nobody was there saying, you have to do this, you have to do that. When I got to medical school, there were a lot of people that I went to school with and trained with along the way who were there because they had come from this legacy. And I always felt like they felt like a strong sense of duty that they had to go down this route. A strong familial pressure from their family members, either because they came from a family of physicians or more often than not, they didn't actually. It was just some kind of a family expectation that you either went to medical school or business school or whatever. And some of them, I don't know how happy they were. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to hit the hay or the whatever material this is, cotton. Touch the feel of cotton. This is one of those squishy pillows. It is not my Sleep and Glow. That pillow, I definitely feel a difference when I don't sleep with that pillow. Speaking of that pillow, I always talk about how I find that pillow beneficial, because of the comfort, it cradles the side of, the shape of your face. You don't wake up with puffiness. I mean, I love it. But it's also beneficial for training yourself to sleep on your back. And every time I talk about that, I'll get a comment from somebody who says, every time I sleep on my back, I have nightmares. And I had never heard that before, but I hear that from you guys all the time, or some of you, not all of you, but some of you get nightmares when you sleep on your back. And tonight at the pool party, we were talking about sleeping, and lo and behold, this girl volunteered that anytime she sleeps on her back, she gets a nightmare. So I wonder if that's a real thing. I mean, obviously it is. I'm not, discrediting your experience or whatever, but I wonder what the mechanism there is. Why would sleeping on your back give you a nightmare? And I think, maybe you get a little apneic or something, snoring. I asked her if she snored. She said she didn't. Yeah, I don't experience that. I sleep on my back. Except here, this squishy pillow, it's not quite as supportive, so I did kind of end up a little like this. But yeah, I sleep on my back, and it's made a huge difference in my sleep quality, and I don't have nightmares. Well, I have nightmares from time to time, but not that often. When I get nightmares if I eat that jackfruit stuff. I don't know what it is about jackfruit. It gives me a nightmare. I have tried it every which way to Friday, prepared any way you could prepare jackfruit. I've given it a try, and it gives me nightmares every time, which is weird. And it doesn't matter. You know, you might think, oh, maybe it's a digestive upset kind of thing. No, I can eat jackfruit at 5 in the morning and go to bed at 10 p.m. and I will get a nightmare. I don't know how long it takes to clear jackfruit from your system, but yeah, it gives me nightmares, and I don't know what it is. Honestly, I want to just admit that I don't like it, because I haven't ever had it and felt like, this is good. I've had it and it's either been not good or mediocre. But all that to say, I think having fresh jackfruit would change things for me. I've had it in restaurants, but there I'm sure they're using the canned stuff, and I've had it canned. And so maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe if I had real fresh jackfruit, which you can buy at H Mart, maybe then I would feel like, maybe then I would have a better jackfruit experience and it wouldn't jack me up. But yeah, I don't know what, maybe there's some tannin or compound in there that crosses my weakened blood-brain barrier. Gives me strange dreams. But honestly, when I was a child, I haven't done this in a long time, I was a big sleepwalker. I would walk in my sleep a lot. And then one thing that does happen to me, oftentimes when I sleep in a new environment, the first night I will wake up screaming, blood-curdling scream. It's so embarrassing. If there are other people around, I will do that, and it's like, I haven't done it in a while. But actually, I say that, but now come to think of it, I think I did wake up screaming maybe about a month ago, like in a weird dream state, and feeling like I was, somebody was putting a pillow over my face or something. Yeah, but I used to have that where I went through a phase for sure in my, I was like 9 or 10. I did sleepwalking a lot. Is that common for kids to do that? I feel like they outgrow it, and maybe that's what happened to me. I used to do a lot of sleepwalking, and talking in my sleep. I was always told as a child that I talked in my sleep a lot. And I've woken myself up as an adult, kind of talking to myself. But now I have you guys. I just put on the camera before I go to bed and talk to you all and get my thoughts out there for the internet to hear, and then I can sleep peacefully. Thank you. Anyways, speaking of sleeping peacefully, this is a sleep mask. This is an essential. When I travel, I have to have a sleep mask. I have a collection of these. This one I got when I went to Austin for that little conference that I went to, where I got to stay in that cool hotel. And they had a little booth where they were giving these out, and they had a woman there who would embroider a little something on it, and she did this cactus. So I have this one. I have tons of these, and they're a must-have for hotels, because you never know if there's going to be some weird light, which in this room there is, because these like blind things, here, I'll show you guys. They don't close like fully. I mean, what are these called? These shutters? I don't know. They let light through. So that's not good for my sleep. I have to have that dark, and I can't get it to go away. So I got this, which I'm glad I brought. I was thinking. Anyways, what I was going to tell you guys though about these masks, a little tip, which I learned from reading recently. So there's a paper that came out about nail surgery. Nail surgery is kind of a traumatic, like not traumatic, but it's very like bloody, and it really, you're awake for it. Like, we don't put you to sleep to do nail surgery. And it can be a very incredibly anxiety provoking thing to have nail surgery. Of course, we numb everything here. Like, you don't feel it, but it can be pretty unpleasant. So there was a paper that came out where they did like a little small study with their patients, and they showed that if patients wore an eye mask, that it made it much better for them to go through nail surgery. It was much more calming, much more relaxing. So if you have to have some kind of procedure where you are awake, ask your provider if you can try bringing a little eye mask if you have like anxiety around it, because you put this on and you don't see what they're doing, and I think it keeps you calm. I learned that trick though when I was a child. I was taught to, when I was having my blood drawn, I was just taught to look away. And I've never had a problem with getting my blood drawn. Like, it hurts so much more if you look at the needle going into your skin. Always look away. And to this day, whenever I get my blood drawn, I look away. It's just a habit. And the nurse or the technician will always be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. This is just what I do. I look away." It makes a huge difference. I've always been a champion about getting shots. Like, I never cried or anything as a child. And that technique really helped me as a child. To just look away. Look away, look away. Oh, all right. I need to turn off the camera. See, I got warmed up talking to all these people, so I don't want to stop. But I need to go to sleep because I've got to wake up, and I've got to pack when I get up. So I have to get up early enough to pack so that I can go to the things and then zip off to the airport. So I'm gonna turn off the camera. Good night.
Good morning, good morning. We are up, dressed, and it's the last day here in Palm Springs for Creator Summit, and I'm gonna head down to breakfast. Got my stuff all packed, and I'm ready to head back to Texas after the first session. Update on these body products. This Santal 33, nice scent, but weak moisturizing. Super lightweight. Didn't end up using the shower gel. Never use Blistex unless I want contact cheilitis. Shampoo was not so great, and conditioner was even less efficacious. But I'm loving this little box of Q-tips. I'm tempted to take it along, as I imply, but I'm sure that'll come with a $200 fine in this place, so I will pass. The real luxury nighttime skincare product right here, CeraVe Healing Ointment. I'm actually almost through with this. Thought I would show you guys the carpet from last night's unknown trivia question. I don't feel like this is Shining inspired at all.
Really? Oh, yeah.
No, he was thinking about it. He was like, "Oh, I know." Hey guys, I am back in the H to the IZA H-Town, Houston. Donning my new robe with my custom name embroidered on it and the YouTube play button. I love this. I think this was my favorite thing in the swag bag, and I'm so excited to be rocking it. I think it's meant for poolside, which I like, because, you know, you get out of the pool, you need to cover up. This is a nice dense material for sun protection, but I'll probably just wear it too inside the house because it's too cute to get dirty. Is anybody else like that? You don't like to get things dirty? I don't know. I mean, most people don't like to get things dirty. Who likes to get things dirty? Yes, I love getting my clothes filthy and ruining them. Anyways, got out of the shower, did my skincare routine. I gotta tell you guys, I am actually coming down to the bottoms of this Maylove Fade Away Brightening Serum. I didn't take it with me, and man, it was really nice to apply this just now as I got out of the shower, because my skin feels a little less than hydrated, moisturized from the dryness of the change in environment, plus the plane, you know, the plane drain, as I like to call it. So I was happy to put that on. I layered it over the hyaluronic acid serum from Timeless. If you missed, I showed how I use these in a recent video, but I just did a little TikTok, and I was thinking, you know, I get questions from time to time about skin tags, and I've got some videos on them, but honestly, you know, there's not much you can do to prevent them from occurring. Some people just make them. Yes, they are a bit more common in people who are overweight or obese. They may be a sign of insulin resistance, but plenty of people make skin tags, you know, and it's not a sign of insulin resistance. So if you have them, you know, not to alarm you, but definitely, you know, make sure that that's not the case, you know, by seeing your healthcare provider is what I'm getting at. But what to do about them? I don't recommend attempting to remove them yourself. And trust me, I'm not telling you this because it's lucrative for dermatologists to remove skin tags. You know, they do, many do charge because it's not necessary to remove them, and it is kind of labor intensive, and so that's why they charge so much. The other thing that you have to accept is that removing them does not guarantee you won't get more, which is really frustrating. You know, you shot, I don't know, whatever it is, however many you have, whatever the derm in your area is charging, you shell out that kind of money, and lo and behold, you get some more later on down the road. It all depends though on how much they bother you. Sometimes though, truthfully, they can be so bothersome, so irritated, especially when they're around the neck, that they become inflamed. And in that case, insurance actually will cover removal. So, you know, if it's really bothering you, like a lot of times they get caught up if you wear a necklace or something, they get caught up in the necklace, or like with men shaving, you know, they nick them, they can become irritated, inflamed, and bleed. Pain and, you know, causing discomfort, problems, then sometimes, you know, insurance will actually pay to remove them. So I'm not telling you to go out and irritate your skin tag on purpose, but I'm just letting you know that if you have a skin tag, man, they can get really big too. They can get really big in some cases. If you have one and it is like really uncomfortable, definitely, you know, speak up when you see your doc, because insurance may cover the removal. Or, you know, a lot of times your doctor, dermatologist will just take them off, you know, on the house in those cases. They won't charge you for it if it's not cosmetic. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for coming along with me, listening to me yammer, which is what most of this vlog probably is at this point, because I really didn't feel comfortable in these sessions capturing content. Like I said, some of the sessions, they were like, no filming here, please. We're talking about, you know, behind the scenes kind of stuff that we don't want the world to know about. How to take over the world from YouTube. I'm just kidding. So I couldn't film, and plus, you know, I don't want to put people on the internet without their, you know what I mean? Like, I feel awkward, so. But I was able to take you guys along, so I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up with my cool new robe. And if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.